W.F. Howes presents an unabridged recording of Grey in the Dark by John Lincoln, narrated by Tim Treloar. 1. Gethin didn't mind that the guy was lying. All his clients lied to him, even the ones who were actually innocent. He didn't mind that he was sure Carl Fletcher was guilty. Most of his clients were. When they claimed to be innocent, they didn't generally mean it in the civilian sense. They weren't saying they didn't actually do the crime they were convicted of. They were talking about being innocent in the professional sense, that the evidence against them wasn't strong enough to justify their conviction, that they'd spotted a loophole. That kind of innocent. No, the thing that was really bothering Gethin, as he sat in the delightful visiting area of Long Lartin prison, was that the guy stank. In prison, most people shower pretty regularly. Apart from anything else, it's a disciplinary offence not to. This guy, though, it wasn't even that he was obviously dirty. He just smelt rotten. There was no other way to say it. Gethin tried and failed to put out of his mind some of the sordid stuff that had come out at his trial, the huge collection of pornography and all that. So when Carl put his hand out to shake, Gethin just pretended not to see it. The third person at the table, Mrs. Kendall, didn't seem to mind. She took Carl Fletcher's hand all right and stared at him like he was Nelson Mandela in Robben Island, strong and noble. Gethin sat back in his chair and looked at the pair of them with frank bewilderment. It really does take all sorts. Carl was lank and greasy and hunched over. Even his clothes, the chinos and the striped shirt he always wore, looked like they were coated in grease. In the photos of him from the trial, he'd looked handsome enough after a fashion, a preppy psychopath in his late 20s. 10 years of jail time later, he looked like hell. Prison has a way of ruining people. Mrs. Kendall, though, was rather more of a puzzle. For starters, what modern woman in her mid-30s insisted on being called Mrs. at all times? Her name, he'd seen it on the checks, was Haley, but woe betide you if you tried using it. Nor was there any sign of a Mr. Kendall. Whoever he was long gone. She was, Gethin figured, one of those people who live their whole lives like they are starring in their own movie. And in her own head, she was
Sample complete. Ready to continue?